kapena kuti United Kingdom. Yeah, napita kunyumba yachifumu. Ndiye napeza Queen Elizabeth alipa. Ndiye mafuta mundilika njani ndiye kuti abempere koma sinsinga kama. Achoka. Koma chimene abempere ndi kuona kusabwirizana pakati pawo. Chimene akwenda kupemphera kwambiri. Ya abempere chimenezi. Mulungu alola. Palibe chimene angayimisa. Olapemphera kwake.
The BBC is interrupting its normal programmes to bring you an important announcement. This is BBC News from London. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. In a statement, the palace said the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. BBC Television is broadcasting this special programme reporting the death of Her Majesty the Queen.
The world is mourning the passing of Queen Elizabeth II.
We have breaking news from the United Kingdom, where we have just sad news that Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving British monarch, died today at Balmoral Castle.
TV networks across the globe interrupted programming to announce the sad news. Inside Edition digital reporter T.C. Newman was reporting outside at the very moment the news broke.
You could definitely notice a hush come across the crowd as the flag started to lower on the top of Buckingham Palace.
A bulletin was posted at the gates of the palace. It reads, "The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon." Prince Charles now becomes King Charles III. His first message as monarch said, "The death of my beloved mother, Her Majesty the Queen, is a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all members of my family." A tearful crowd outside the palace broke into God Save the King anthem for the first time. God save the King.
Hello Australia, you are waking up to the sad news that the Queen has died. It's the day we knew was inevitable, but had hoped would never come. Queen Elizabeth II passed away aged 96 after 70 years on the throne.
Her death was confirmed by the royal household with an official announcement from Buckingham Palace. The statement said the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon, UK time. The King, Charles, and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral overnight and will return to London tomorrow. It ends an extraordinary reign, one that will most likely never be seen again.
The Queen had been suffering from mobility problems since the end of last year, but her health deteriorated in the last few days. She was last seen on Wednesday, our time, when she greeted the new UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. The event took place at Balmoral, not at Buckingham Palace.
In the lead up to the Queen's passing, doctors had placed her under medical supervision. The royal family members rushed to her side in Scotland. All her children were there: Charles, Anne, Andrew and Edward, along with Prince William. Prince Harry arrived at Balmoral after the Queen had passed away. The Duke of Sussex looked visibly upset in the back of the car.
Across the UK, crowds are gathering to pay tribute to the Queen. Mourners have been laying flowers to honour Elizabeth. These are live shots from Buckingham Palace. They have been growing enormously in the almost 3 hours that we've been on air, and not only scenes like this outside Buckingham Palace, but Windsor Castle as well, and up in Balmoral as well in Scotland. Right around the country, Brits coming together to share their and show their respect to the Queen and also grieve together. Let's go live to Europe Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfield outside Balmoral Castle. And Hugh, sad day for the royal family and also sadness around the globe being shown.
Yeah, I think there's two forms of grief that we're going to witness over the next period of mourning, over the next 2 weeks or so. That global grief, but also deeply personal family grief that the royal family will be experiencing right now here at Balmoral, where members of the family have been gathering throughout the day. We've got a few more details just on some of the timeline of all of this. Prince Charles and Camilla were up here in Scotland at Burke Hall, which is their residence just down the road from here. Princess Anne was also up in Scotland, so they managed to get here to Balmoral pretty quickly as soon as that concern was raised by doctors. We now know that the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss was told that the Queen had passed away at 4:30 p.m. local time. That's 1:30 in the morning on the Australian East Coast. It was 2 hours before the public was told at 6:30 p.m. here, 3:30 on the Australian East Coast. Now, I'm not sure that that convoy of royals that came up from London, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, Sophie and Prince William, I don't think that they made it here in time, unfortunately. We certainly know that Harry arrived here after the Queen's death was publicly announced. Nonetheless, tonight here, they will be gathered together, I expect reflecting on their relationship with a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, but also, I think, particularly William will be speaking with his father about the role that he has taken on as King Charles III. And we do now have a statement from King Charles. It reads, "The death of my beloved mother, Her Majesty the Queen, is a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all members of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms and the Commonwealth, and by countless people around the world. During this period of mourning and change, my family and I will be comforted and sustained by our knowledge of the respect and deep affection in which the Queen was so widely held." And I would expect